Expedition Ireland, we were very much in communication with Oonagh and her team in the HRB, so it is a similar type of award. So I'm delighted you could all join the webinar today. I suppose we've developed this call in response to requests from the wider research community, and I suppose the call aimed to provide opportunities to researchers who've been displaced by the war in Ukraine by providing them with continuity in their research careers. So with that in mind, we open the call to the holders of existing SFI grants to allow them and their host institutions provide opportunities to researchers who have had to leave their research in Ukraine. We'd hope that our PIs are able to provide these researchers with valuable experience, and we hope that the researchers and research groups that we fund would also benefit from having the unique set of skills that the researchers will bring. So the applications are open to principal investigators of existing SFI funded projects, and it aims to support researchers who are now in Ireland and have been granted temporary protection under the EU directive. We've opened it up to PhD students, postdoctoral researchers and research fellows. I suppose we opened the call around a month ago, and we have had some queries in particular around having multiple applications against one project. So I suppose that is allowed, but we would expect there to be a justification to demonstrate that sufficient supports are available to host multiple researchers, and that can be provided in the application process. And we'd also expect that there be one application per researcher. I suppose the award will provide salary support for between 3 and 12 months, and we've kind of streamlined it down to 3 salary levels. So that's for a PhD candidate, a postdoctoral researcher and a research fellow. In the application process, we ask that if a research fellow or a postdoctoral researcher are requested, we'd ask that you provide a justification. So if you could provide describe their professional experience or any relevant publications or presentations, anything around training early career researchers or anything like that, if that could be included in the justification or in the application, that would be very helpful. And then we'll also, similar to the HRB, be covering the pension, PRSI and overhead costs. And we'll cover the costs such as materials or a contribution towards the cost of materials and laptops. And then the application is also a rolling deadline, and it'll be processed through our grants management system, Sesame. So we'd ask that interested PIs should email us at displacedresearchers@sfi.ie once they've been matched with a researcher and the researcher is in Ireland. If you could provide the grant number of the existing SFI grant, that would be helpful. And just to be aware that through the application process, we do ask for some additional documentation. So this would be the letter from the Department of Justice in Ireland confirming that temporary protection has been granted, a letter of support from the HEI and a CV of the researcher. And I suppose the purpose of the application form is really to capture the eligibility of the PI to take on the researcher or the grant, and then to outline the proposed activities that will be undertaken by the researcher, just to see how their skills will be developed and also how their experience aligns with the research project. We really want to see how the researcher will benefit, but also how the skills of the researcher will benefit the existing project and team. We also ask for information and supporting documentation relating to the career stage and relevant experience of the researcher, and that's really around the salary scale requested and then the duration and start date of the grant. So all of this information is captured in our call document, which is on our website. And then I suppose the review process, we've aimed to review all applications as quickly as possible, given the urgency to support Ukrainians that have been displaced by the war. We'll initially check applications for eligibility, And then the assessment profile of the PI will be updated to provide them with access to the call. Each eligible application will undergo an in-house review by SFI team members. As the active grants have already been peer reviewed, the application for this supplemental grant largely focuses on information on the incoming researcher and how they'll be incorporated into the project, and the case for how they will complement the project funded through the primary grant. But I suppose the SFI team are loosely looking at applications under, you know, does the incoming researcher have the appropriate experience and the potential to complement the original project? Does the researcher have the appropriate experience and skills for their salary requested? And what plans are in place for the researcher to integrate them into the team and to develop their career further? And any details of other relevant supports such as language classes and skills development opportunities should also be included. So that's it for me. This is just our email address here, so displacedresearchers@sfi.ie, and if you go onto our website you'll also find a link to our call document. Many thanks.
So thank you very much, Eimear.